You are now listening to Cocktails and Conversations with Javante Wilson and co-host Dennis King.
Her hand on her. So literally, I don't care if that's your mom. She's fucking your nigga. I think that's
What?
it.
Wait!
They was going for 30 minutes. That's enough time to bust a nut.
Everybody knows. I don't play that shit with whoever I'm with. It was very strategic. I have to give it to the bitch. She was crafty.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. No, y'all not about to sit here and say that. Y'all are not about to sit here and say that because y'all crazy asses. No.
Welcome, guys. Welcome to this week's conversation of Cocktails and Conversation. We actually have a special guest in the building, but before we get to him, I am your host, Javante Wilson. And
Dennis.
And we have the co-host, Dennis King, here. He is back. We told y'all that he's going to be back around. And we have a special guest in the building. We have my ex, Marcus Butler.
Don't get my full name.
Oh, well, nigga, I'm going to call you Butler anyway, so that they know where Butler's coming from.
Beat that out.
But yeah, so today's conversation, I actually watched a few podcasts and I seen that they were having conversations with their ex, and I thought that was a pretty cool idea, but I think the only piece that was missing for me was normalizing that it's okay to become friends with your ex after the relationship. So hence to how we're able to do this conversation today. And so
So it's
yeah.
not because you paid him to be here.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't pay him to be here, child, please. And so yeah, so we'll go ahead and get into the conversation.
Okay, so when did you guys meet?
When or how? Or just when?
When, how?
What?
We met,
Oh, Marcus.
yeah,
What's going on?
it's about to be him the whole interview, I'm sure.
No.
You better-
Wait, I got it.
Do you know what year it was?
Marquise was there. I think we shouldn't use names. Someone was there.
He only had one cocktail, y'all. Yeah, so we met in 2015. I thought it was 2014 for some reason, but it's 2015. We met in like May of 2015.
It was May.
Yeah, and then got together in July. It was after Dylan. It was in July because after Dylan's birthday for sure. So yeah.
It was in August.
It was not
You
August.
guys had an anniversary that you posted on Facebook.
Oh, somebody
Yeah.
did their homework.
Well, he knows his shit. It was in August.
What?
I was right.
Oh, well, okay. Well, he's right. Okay.
Who asked out who?
I don't think it was no acting out.
No.
It was just a thing.
I remember the conversation very clearly.
What was the
Marcus was very clear. We were at Courtney's. We were at my friend. You keep using names, but yeah. So we were at my friend's house, and he was clear that this ain't gonna be just no fucking around shit, and I said okay. So
you guys already fucked?
no, this is like our first, I guess, official date or hanging out or whatever, because like we had just been talking prior to that, and so yeah, it was.
What?
It was very. This is what it's gonna be, and I agreed. And that was it.
What was the best part of the relationship for you, Marcus?
The best part. That's hard.
I would say that's probably the hardest question for him.
There was because it was the knowledge. I mean, he's a knowledgeable person, so not to toot his horn, but no, it was knowledge. I think like the knowledge and that just opened my fucking mind to things. It
Okay.
was kind of cool. So
It might be easier to answer what was the worst part. then.
I was young. I was
Oh,
young as fuck.
okay, I like that answer.
I was young and I just immediately went from relationship to relationship, so it was just my mind wasn't ready for that. So.
As Javante Nas is in agreement.
I
what
do
was your
agree.
best part of the relationship?
I thought you were gonna say something else about the worst part, but the best part for me, I think one of the best parts for me was leading up into that point, I was so like work focused. So I think I was working like 2 to 3 jobs at the time.
Getting awards back to back.
Yeah, I really. Well,
Please.
no, but I was like kind of focused on like making my money. So I wasn't really concerned about a lot of different like relationships, or I guess I wouldn't given the energy to it. And I took everything so fucking serious. And I think the balance with Marcus was like, he would be like, niggas, chill out. It's not that big of a deal. And I was like, oh, maybe it's not. You know, and like I have to be at everything. Everything had to be perfect. And I still have some of those qualities or in personality traits, but it's not as bad as it was when we first got together. Cause it was bad. It was. Do
you miss it?
What the nigga chill? Well, I still have it. That was a part that I was able to maintain after we were able to get to the maintain at the relationship, because he's still the go-to. I call probably when anything serious or complex is happening. So in relationships, you have the intimate part and your relationship, but you also have a friendship, and we were friends in the relationship. So I think that's what helped it or made it that's what made it good for me, is that we were friends even though we were in a relationship. So I was able to go to him and talk to him about anything and everything. And so like even though we're not together now, I still have the he is over here burping up a storm, y'all. That's why I'm over here tripping over my words. But I still have the access to him in that way of being able to come to him and share it.
Do you guys still fall asleep together on FaceTime like you guys did in the beginning?
Oh, you done went back and looked at some pictures.
No.
No, we don't fall asleep on FaceTime anymore. However, we still FaceTime, but we don't fall asleep on FaceTime.
Okay.
Those days are gone.
Were you guys in a monogamous relationship or was it open?
We were open. Just kidding.
I was saying, you got something to tell me?
No.
Oh, his end, it was open. No, I was just playing. No, it was not open.
I don't think our personalities are capable of doing that.
Yeah.
Having an open relationship?
Yes, I agree.
Did the relationship last longer than you expected?
I have no expectations of anything.
Oh. You have no expectations?
Not like of longevity. It's just like,
okay. You just ride the wave.
yeah.
That sounds about right. with anything in his life. You gotta like, okay, we'll see how this play out.
And then if it goes left, I'm like, okay, let's just get off this wave.
Yeah.
Surfboard.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So with that, does that mean that it was easy for you to disconnect when you guys broke up?
I disconnect class from anything else, so.
And I don't know if they heard you, but I agree. And I feel like it's part of the Gemini shit. And so I feel like, this is just my opinion, I feel like Geminis, they're very much in their head. And I feel like they will identify an issue or a problem, and they will try to create a solution for it without involving the other person that it's involving. So if you're in a relationship and you identify an issue in a relationship, instead of you communicating with the person that something's an issue, you try to solve it by yourself. And when you don't solve it by yourself, they check out. And I think that it goes with that with a lot of things in their life, whether it be friendships or work. What's the name? Go.
Yeah, no, that's cool. No, that's actually pretty accurate. Except it's just, we saw, at least for me, I look at the problem, I try to identify the problem, I take my knowledge of that person, and I'm like, okay, so how will this person react to this, and then I play multiple scenarios in my head, and then I'm like, okay, well, it's like a 12% chance of succeeding. So then I'm like, okay, well, 10% chance is still an F. I'm a B student per se.
Yet again, that goes back to because he could be an A student if he would involve that person. So I get your process, but you can't say the process 100% is going to work if you don't
Involve the person.
exactly.
No, I get that.
Or communicate
But-
what the issue is.
Yeah.
What did it go sideways for you guys? Was it a back-to-back thing, or was it one big issue that led to the downfall?
No, I think we just identified. He figured out that he made an executive decision, in my opinion,
Yeah.
that, okay, I don't see this working,
So he broke
Going
up with you.
Well, no. No. I mean, because it was more so like we came to an agreement that maybe things are not working. But the reason why we came to that agreement that we figured that out was because he had already started checking out from the relationship. So you're not texting me back. You're not really, engaged in conversation and everything that was like on a high drop. And so of course I noticed those things and I'm like, what is going on? And so then it's like, if it's a struggle just trying to talk to you, then maybe that this is not working or things are off. And
How long did it last with him, with them things, him ignoring your
That's-
text messages?
that-
A day?
No, it was not a day. Probably, I would say it started happening over a course of a week, but it intensified over a month, but it intensified over a course of a week.
Nigga,
Are you sure?
You identified that problem like a day.
Well, yeah, but it had gotten worse in my opinion, and to the point that I noticed
You
it
noticed
happened
it when it first happened.
and then, but as far as like when I addressed it was
Yeah.
because that particular day was like a
was
little bit
intense.
more severe than previous times.
And did you realize that was happening before he?
He was doing it.
No, I mean, like, did he do it intentionally?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why were you doing it?
I checked out. It was just, and it wasn't intentionally. It was just in the sense of like, I have no energy to give no more. Like once I check out, like my motivation and energy is like, that's just like with anything.
Were you in love with Javante?
I was, but I disconnect really fast from anything.
And it's the same for you? You were in love with Marcus?
Of course, he was my first love.
Okay.
But I don't disconnect as easily. So, the breakup process, it was probably stretched out over 6 months, 6 to 8 months, in my opinion. Like we broke up, but we were still like involved with each other and each other's life, and still talking and operating similarly as we were in a relationship. The title was removed.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
Oh,
You can
okay.
tell.
Here we go.
Posted things. You posted.
I post what on where?
And you tell me your thoughts after.
Oh my god.
posted
Mark.
Do not
drink soda.
Unless the person you put the person
Oh,
that
God.
broke me, unless the person that broke me restored me, I don't know if I can love again.
I did not say love again. Did I say love again?
Damn, that's intense. That's deep.
I feel like
I can show you.
Oh my
screenshot.
god. That's a
oh,
deep
that screenshot. Yeah,
The
screenshot
little
was-
quote.
And
No, that was a
That's
quote from
it's-
JW.
That's
Me.
a five quote.
right here.
Oh my god, he's
right around you guys.
Come on, Dennis.
Situation.
receipts. This this is August 2nd, 2016. So this is the following year. Unless the person that broke me restored me, I don't know if I can love. Oh,
Damn.
love
So-
again, Javante Wilson. I
So
just said
did
that.
you find that he restored you, or did you find an alternate
Alternate.
reality to it?
That's a complex question that calls for a level of me unpacking it. So,
Summarize.
yeah, it's like no. Like I don't feel like we just went to a place of okay. I feel like he knew that it was more difficult for me dealing with the breakup than for him. And so I feel like he was very courteous in the breakup process as far as our interaction goes. Like, it was like he didn't do anything that I felt that was like disrespectful, or it wasn't like, okay, we're not talking at all or anything like that. We still spoke. So still having him somewhat tangible made the breakup a little easier. And then, but I just had to mentally and emotionally process what was happening, and kind of had to become okay with we weren't going to be together. Excuse me. And so part of it was him and how he maneuvered through that process, and then it also was me mentally maneuvering through it as well. So part of it was a restorement with him, but the other part had to do with myself.
Did you guys go a time not talking afterwards?
Oh, yes. You looking in the sky.
Question mark.
We definitely did. We didn't talk for the first period of time. First time we didn't talk for 3 to 4 months. And then we started talking, and then we stopped talking again for a year.
Really, a year?
Yeah, the first time we seen you again was at Andre's event, and I had anxiety. I hadn't seen him in a year prior to that.
You was feeling anxiety.
No names.
Oh,
you was feeling anxiety about what?
About seeing him, because I hadn't seen him,
Well,
and he stopped talking to me, and there was no reason why he stopped talking to me, and I would say why I think it was, but
well, say it.
Okay, so.
I'm gonna let him. Well, say it. Okay, I got it.
Picture it. Okay, so even though we were broken up, I went through this really unique thing with his family. Nobody liked me and his family at first. Nobody liked me. Only person that liked me, in my opinion, was Anna Sardon. And so, and then everybody grew to love me. And so,
which is really weird.
It was really weird. And then, so I was invited to everything, even though we weren't together. And I feel like it may have frustrated him because he's trying to move forward and move on in his life, but yet your ex is at all your family events and parties. And so he initially said it was okay to come to a particular cousin's graduation party originally. And so
High school?
No, she was graduating from college.
No. Oh.
And before she went to USC. I mean, UCLA.
Okay.
And so he agreed that it was okay for me to come to that party. I ran into him that Friday at the club before that Saturday, because I remember. And I don't know if I said something that offended him, or he thought I said something that offended him, so he was irritated at me or pissed. And so when I got there, he did not speak to me at that party. He was very shady. Him and his little friends, they were walking around. He was not really engaging with me. And so then he stopped talking to me after that. And so that was like June or July. And I didn't see him. It wasn't a full year, but it was. I didn't see him until that following, I think January or February, when his cousin had an event that we both were at. And I remember having major anxiety about seeing him. And when I seen him, I was like, and it's really weird because I'm like, I never felt that. And that's what irritated me, because I'm like, why the fuck do I feel like have this high level of anxiety? There's no reason why I should feel this way. And I left the event because I literally feel physically ill. Like I feel like I was going to throw up. And I ain't never felt like that before. So I left. And then I finally reached out to him like, we need to talk. And then we sat down and talked about how I felt, how he felt, and then like us moving forward just as friends. And we've been friends ever since. We went to Chili's to talk, or Fridays, one of the two.
Do you remember this?
I do remember that.
Were you being shady with your friends, cackling?
I don't think there was any cackling.
No, it was just like he didn't talk to me. It wasn't
He was
I was
just
just
missing.
talking about him. Just saying.
No.
It was almost like, all right, you here,
Yeah, that's
whatever.
how it was for sure.
Do you guys still fuck?
No. We haven't had sex probably over 2 years.
Hands.
Oh.
Wait, what?
No, my hands.
Oh!
My hands.
I'm like,
I'm
I'm like, we don't jack off together. I'm like, wait a minute.
No, yeah.
So is the sexual attraction gone with you guys?
I don't know, probably.
That's a very random question.
Let's do a countdown. A countdown question. When I count down 1, 2, 3, you guys answer the question simultaneously. Yes or no?
That's crazy.
Do you guys?
I can't do it like that.
Yes, you can. You're going to.
Oh.
Do you guys still have feelings for each other? 3, 2,
Not feelings.
1.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not feelings. Yeah, no.
No?
No.
Not sexual either.
Okay, so. Okay, no, let me.
So if Marcus was down the fuck,
Mm-hmm.
would you decline?
Okay, so can I answer the question?
Wait,
Okay.
no, wait. Let's
Wait, no, don't ask me.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Fucked up. Feelings.
I think that I will always be able to have sex with him or always probably be sexually attracted to him, just because that's like your first love. It's almost like, I don't know. Well, for me, my first love. So I will always be able to. Now, would it be healthy for our friendship is the question. And so I don't think that it would be. Because I feel like with anybody, if you have sex with them, you could, like, for instance, with me, I can have sex with someone. And if it's just like a random thing, maybe once a quarter or something like that, it's a stretch. But like, say for instance, like I have sex with someone, I can have sex with someone. But if it's too regularly, then I start to get attached, and that's where the problem lies. So if we were to start to have sex, if I was to have sex with him today, I don't feel like those emotions or feelings would come back just by us having sex at one time. But if we was to start to have sex regularly, like be fuck buddies, I wouldn't be able to manage my emotions and feelings because of the constant connection.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
Like, is that for you as well?
Oh, no, it's different with me. Again, I emotionally disconnect fast, so. And I don't think I would ever cross that boundary because I do see him as a friend. And I make it a point not to have sex with my friends. Like, anyone I see a friend, like, if I was even sexually attracted to him, just like all of it goes out the window for me.
Are you also friends with your other exes?
No.
And that's what's so unique about this situation.
I beforehand I was anti-friends with exes. I don't have them on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Scrabble. Words with friends.
And so that was part of what my process of me mentally checking the fuck out of the relationship getting over it was when he told me. It was so hurtful at the time.
What did he tell you?
If I can have it my way, I would never see you again, hear from you again, or even hear your name again. And I was like,
what triggered him to say that?
We were having a conversation, just a conversation about, us, like, us not being together, and like us, like, it pretty much finding like our new norm of moving forward of being friends. And he was like, well, I don't typically do this with exes, whatever. And he was like, if I can have it my way. But then it was like, afterwards I assessed and got what he was saying. But in that moment when you still are in love with someone and someone tell you that if they can have their way, they will never hear from you again, never hear your name again, or never see you again, I'm like, bitch, you got me fucked up.
I wonder if that was when you wrote the status and I'm breaking you.
No. I don't think so. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's where that status came from. But yeah, so that was like my first initial, that was when I first didn't stop talking to him, and we didn't talk until like 3 to 4 months. And it was because a situation happened. And I had to break my silence because I was like, now you trying to fucking intentionally hurt me, bitch, because I give you what you asked for.
Okay.
In a passive way.
And is that when you posted...
Oh, God. Oh, here we go.
You posted, even with all the hell, betrayal, and non-loyalty, and fucked up shit that's been happening in my life, some great things are happening.
I was rhyming. Did I say that too?
You did.
When did I post this? You got the screenshots of that?
You posted it in July 2016. Wow. Would you like to see that as well?
Oh, can you read
that? That's nothing to do with me.
Rewind it one more time.
I believe it does. That was when you had your housewarming in San Pedro.
Oh, no. So that situation came after.
it was like all around the same time.
No, that was a separate situation.
No, that wasn't me.
It was during the full breakup of us, but another situation where a family member.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah. You throw your hands up. Woo! I'm out of that one. Yeah.
Okay.
That was.
What was the break of the silence?
That was that.
The break of the silence?
Oh no! What was the break of the silence?
Silence.
He said that he gave you space to where he did not hit you up for 3 to 4 months, but something happened. Something happened for him to hit you up.
What the fuck is that?
A letter, nigga.
What's the V? Oh no. I mean, I seen that you were going that route, but no, it was Russell. That was that situation.
Why do you say this? This is a no-name show.
Oh well, fuck it. His name's already out. I don't give a
So
fuck.
what happened with Russell, Marcus?
From your perspective,
Yes.
Honestly, I can't really remember. I just remember it was like, oh hey, hang out. I was like, oh whatever.
How did he contact you?
Instagram.
Hmm.
That's only. I don't have no number.
Did you guys hang out?
Like for 10 minutes, and then no, I can't really get into the story because it also involves one of my family members.
just say it. Just don't use their name.
Use an alternative.
So one of my family members, and this young lad, I guess we're talking, we're talking unbeknownst to me, and then prior to that, then he was messing with me, and I was like, what the fuck? And then my family member was like, oh, I hung out with this person. I was like, oh, and then while we were hanging out, it's like, oh, where are you going? I'm hanging out with this person. I'm like, oh, we just hung out last week. We just hung out like last week. I'm like, oh, that's weird. It's like, oh, that is weird. And I'm like, okay, I'm coming home. Mm-hmm. And then I came home.
That is a version of the story.
A fast forward version.
Very, very. It was like fast forward as he was talking. So there's
this young fellow.
a guy.
Fellow.
He's a guy
Fellow's a
that fellow if it's too nice.
I would say at the time we were all friends. Hanging out back to back, night to night, drinking, sharing stories.
Thank you.
Everybody knows who's going out with who's breaking up with who, everybody's relationship statuses. And
so
one night you tell me this story.
Yeah. So well, first rewind. So while Marcus and I were together, this particular person was around, and he was around because he had a partner as well. And it was like 4 different partners that we all like would hang out and do different things together. We even had a name, the Committed Couples.
That was whack.
Yeah, it was.
So that shit was whack.
It was so corny. But anyways, so I noticed that I pick up on shit. And I noticed that he was feeling Marcus. Even though if he may not have said it or whatever, he was feeling him. And so I remember we all were out one particular night, and I remember getting pissed because I'm like, in my head, if I'm telling you that I have an issue with you being around this person, or just don't be around that person, as delusional as that is, to just try to demand somebody to not do something, whatever, you should listen. And so, in my opinion, I feel like Marcus was listening to me. And so, we got home, we had got into a big argument about, I'm like, he clearly is trying to be under you and blah, 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 all this other shit. And he was like, well, these are your Marcus like, these are your friends. And if you have I'm just trying to be nice to your friends. If you have an issue with me being around them or engaging with them, don't invite them around. Like, I'm just being nice to your friends. I was like, well, that makes sense. Simple fix. However, that's when he first showed signs of liking Marcus. And so when anytime that we spoke, he would like ask about Marcus and like what's going on between Marcus and I. It was always a conversation.
Our nigga?
Yeah, okay. It was definitely our nigga, not your nigga. And so
my future nigga.
because he was working on it. And so he even went as far as trying to talk to Marcus' cousin, because he knew that they lived together, to get at him. And once he seen that wasn't going in his favor, that's when he kind of checked out because he was like, the cousin and I were friends. And so I expressed my concerns to the cousin. He was like, yeah, I noticed, he's like, every time we talk, it's like, well, where's your cousin at? Where's Marcus at? And it's like, well, nigga, do you want to talk to me or do you want to talk to my cousin? And so he even picked up on it as well. And so, and
this
then,
is still while you guys have the committed.
No. This is after the fact. We were broken up at this point.
Oh, okay.
And so, and him and his partner was broken up at that point. And so, right, okay. Okay, for him, it's like, and so he moved to Fontana, which is a city or two over from the city that Marcus reside in. And so, coincidental, they ended up at the same gym. And so, and then they hung out. The motherfucker was very strategic. I have to give it to the bitch. He was crafty. And so in some way they hung out to where he was at Marcus' house and then they went swimming or some shit, whatever the case may be, because it was more than 10 minutes. It was more than 10 minutes, but
No, you're talking about when...
Marcus,
you're talking about the... Okay, we're talking about 2 different times, but I know what you're talking about.
So clearly it was more than one time, and he said it was just once.
When we dropped him off, it was me, Nana, and...
Okay, well, I don't know about that point. Only thing I know about is what I seen on Instagram. So mind you, at this point, I have not spoken to Mr. Marcus.
Oh, me.
I ain't spoken to Marcus in about a good 3 to 4 months at this point.
Oh,
it was over the summer because of that last conversation we had. He said that I wouldn't talk to blah blah blah. So I'm like, that helped me mentally to kind of like just attach from the situation. And so I was on Snapchat and I seen Russell's Snapchat. Now I am like a detective. Call me 007. I know backgrounds and environments. And there's not many people who have burgundy couches. Let's go there first. and so
I had burgundy couches?
No, in the living room, there's burgundy couches. At
the
your
red ones,
house.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Red, burgundy, whatever. And so I seen Russell sitting on the couch, and it was more of like a very relaxed, comfortable lean over and snapping. And in my opinion, I feel like this shit was intentional. Like, oh, bitch, I know you don't know where I'm at. And so, because he kept snapping, okay, and I'm here, I have arrived. and so he was like snapping in the living room. Then the next snap, he was in the room. And that is where I was like, okay, well, here we go. Because you had just gotten that black chair that's in your room at that time. And he was in that black particular chair that I knew. And he swung in the chair that shelved the bed that I was too familiar with. And I called his punk ass first. And I called Russell first. And I said,
no, name.
I don't give a fuck. It's out there. So I called him and I said, did you and Marcus hang out? And he said, what? And he automatically went aggressive. He's like, what? And I said, did you and Marcus hang out? He said, what? When? That told me enough. So I hung up in his face. And then I called Marcus. This is midday or something like that because you were at Six Flags. And so,
Six Flags?
Yeah, but you got into a fender bender that day too. So anyway.
I did. Yeah. Anyways, I remember everything.
So I called and I was like, are you intentionally trying to fucking hurt me? He was like, what are you talking about? I said, were you not with fucking Russell? So I'm pissed and livid at this point because I'm like, you said if you have it your way, you X, Y, and Z. You know how I feel about this person trying to get at you, whatever, and my whatever. And so you still are hanging out, or you still have made a decision to hang out with this person or be friends with this person, even though I have told you what the situation is. And so he found it that this was his point to tell me that he's into a new relationship, so he ain't got time to be dealing with Russell. And I'm like, well, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I still have an issue with y'all talking because I know this bitch motives and whatever. And so fast forward, we decided to have a conversation. Marcus and I had a conversation. We talked about how we felt about everything, blah, blah, blah.
Y'all love meeting up for conversation.
We have to. Communication is so key for any fucking relationship. We do. We should have had a camera. And so, so that happened. And so, which showed me Russell's true colors was And what made me respect Marcus at the time was that I shared how I felt about the situation. He's like, if it bothers you that much, then I won't talk to him. And so he had a conversation with Russell that, this clearly seems to be bothering him, is just whatever, and kind of cut ties. And so then Russell then hit me up and was livid. Who the fuck do you think you are to tell, to dictate who I can and cannot talk to, blah, blah, blah. And that's when our friendship was officially dead.
What was your response to that?
I forget. I'm sure it was something vulgar, but I can't recall. It was via text too. If I have my old phone with me, I can quote it like you're quoting these fucking Facebook messages that I so forgot about.
And was that the last time you spoken to Russell?
No, we spoke twice after that. Once or twice after that. No, we're not. And he called a year later with a bullshit as apology as to, I see where I was in the wrong in this situation, and I'm calling to give you this apology, pretty much like as if I needed this shit. And so, yeah, and I pretty much told him, like, it is what it is. I don't hate you because I don't hate anyone, but I just don't fuck with you. And that's that. And I haven't really spoken with him or seen him.
Oh, I love it. Well, not the drama. Well, it's pretty entertaining.
It was a lot.
I didn't know you guys were in a committed couples group.
Oh.
I wasn't around for that.
That's
I did see you guys take a lot of photos with, when you guys were out on dates with as a couples and stuff like that.
You got a photo too?
Oh, yeah, I did save that with Karan and everybody.
Oh, yeah, that was a committed couples group that we were planning a retreat.
Oh, y'all was planning a retreat?
We were.
Y'all was out of y'all mind. Russell was going to get Marcus on that one.
Okay, child, he would be dead on that same retreat. Anyway, everybody knows. I don't play that shit with whoever I'm with. So,
that's crazy.
He wanted to test it.
Do you guys ever think that you may go back to find each other in a relationship? Or do you guys think this is the end of the line?
Let's meet up at 50 and see where we're at.
If you 50, I'm gonna be a little bit over 50s. But I honestly feel like if for whatever reason, not for whatever reason, but if it was to get to that point, it would be no time soon. I feel like we both are in a space that we are living life, we are setting our future up, and we're doing what we need to do. I don't think that it would be healthy and it will even last if we even went down that road anytime soon. So I would say for now, no. I definitely don't see that. I think that we work better as friends. And I think we're in an amazing place. Only way I see that happening is because both our families love each of us. So his family loves me. Well, majority of his family loves me. And all my family loves him. Everybody family and friends that come in contact with him loves him. Anytime that we're in the same room, it's like, you sure y'all don't want to get back together? It's like, damn, could we just be friends? And so if, down in the far future, maybe if it, and this may sound a little fucked up, but if things didn't work out with us and other people, and
that's agreed.
Yeah, and it's like, well, we clearly have mad love for each other. We got each other back so that we can enter into a life partnership with each other.
Partnership.
Are you single now?
Yes.
And is it the same for you, where you see it possibly maybe happening far down in the future?
Far in the future, yeah. Because at this point. Yeah, far in the future.
Are you single as well right now? Or are you still with that guy? You wasn't worried about Russell getting you because you got him?
Oh, he's in the second relationship since then.
Oh.
Wait, what? No, not a second.
That was you having another relationship since that one?
No. Since...
Yes.
No.
The one that you just wrapped, or you is pending now? Okay, we'll
that's one. That's not two.
You have a relationship pending?
We're pending.
All right. On that's the wrap for me.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure that we had this conversation because I think so oftentimes people feel like it's impossible to be friends with your ex. And I want normalize being friends with your ex. Just because it didn't work out in a partnership doesn't mean that you guys can't be friends, you know. And we're able to sit here, recap our relationship, and you know, and talk about us being friends now. Like, it definitely did not happen overnight. I want to say that. I want to say it took 2 years after we actually broke up for us actually to fully be friends. And it is strictly platonic. We talk to each other about damn near everything. Including even people that we were currently dating in the last year. I went to him and told him different things, and he has told me different things, and we can give honest feedback, and then it's from two different lenses. One, just like as a friend, and two, as someone that has already dated you, so that you can be a little bit more transparent. But before we fully wrap, there was a question that someone asked that I wanted to bring up and get all of our take on it, because Marcus is, like I said, Marcus' family and I are still really cool. I love his mom. That's another thing I want to point out. I feel like when I first started coming back around, I don't know if he thought I was doing it to hang out with his family to get to him or not.
Did you?
But
I don't know what I thought.
but anyways, me and his mom click, and we hang out and outside of him.
What I remember,
like
a lot of clicks.
Like we hang out outside of him, like, and talk regularly outside of him. Like, even through the whole breakup process, she was like a support system. Like, you know, you deserve amazing. You're an amazing person. You deserve to be with someone amazing. Blah blah blah. Like she was just my girl. That is, and like we go out to listen to like bands and music, and for dinner, and hang out for like our birthdays, all kind of shit. Like, without him, or while he's in a relationship with someone else, or he's not present, like, he don't have to be there. We even for like a good 3 months we were working out regularly with each other once a week, and I wouldn't even see him. And so I did have to be a little conscious that it does make things a little harder for the family to accept someone new in when the old person is still around. So I would still hang out with them and engage with them and talk to them, but I would start to decline invitations to family events, because I didn't want to be the reason that they don't accept someone else or new, or seem to be a problem, because I feel like that would start creating friction between Marcus and I. And he could eventually start to resent me, because it's like, well, nigga, we broken up, and you still coming around. I'm trying to move forward with this person, and the family not embracing this person because of you, and then it can eventually cause some type of friction, whatever. But someone, I'm not going to say their name. We do have a Facebook like page.
What's the name of it?
It is Cocktails and Conversations.
Awesome. Let me go like it now.
Please go like the page. Hopefully, me moving this device is not messing with the audio. It is. But I want to read the question. So somebody inboxed us a question on Facebook, and that's cocktails with an S space the N symbol, not N spelled out, but the N symbol, and conversations with an S at the end of it for the Facebook page. So someone inboxed a question. Oh, I don't have my... Anyways, because my phone's on earbud now. So the person asked a question, pretty much trying to figure out, how do you create boundaries with your ex being friends with your mother, with her mother, and her being in a relationship with a new person. So she's in a relationship with a new person, and her mother came to visit them, but her mother is still friends with her ex, and the current boyfriend and the mother went out for drinks at a bar, and the mother invited the ex.
The fuck?
Right. And so from my understanding, I think the mother stepped outside to talk to the ex I wish I had the question in front of me. I'll bring it up on another episode and to see if the ex came in or not. And so she's like, what does she do? How does she create those? What does she do? And my thing is, I would suggest, her talking to her mother and creating healthy boundaries of this is acceptable, this is not acceptable. Whether or not she's okay with the ex being friends with her mother or not, or I would just suggest creating boundaries. That would be my answer. And the boundaries that work for you guys so that the current partner does not feel slighted by the relationship between the ex and the mother. Butler, would you like to speak to that?
Mama's gotta go.
You said mama's gotta go?
Mama's gotta go.
Is that why you chopped my mom? Because with my mom, this is still her son. And sometimes it can be offensive. I didn't even think about that part. Like with his mom, I'm embraced. But I feel like we have a healthy boundary. Like even she's clear about, okay, I'm not going to do X, Y, and Z with like a new person and invite you over or whatever and create that situation. I'm not saying that my mom will or have, but she has been very clear like, oh, that's my son. That's always going to be my son. And I don't care who you with. And if someone new comes along, sometimes she slips up like, well, is Marcus coming? Or is my son coming? Well, call my son. And she wants to FaceTime him while I may be with someone new. And I'm just like, I don't have a problem with it at all, but you call him. You got his number. Why are you putting me in an uncomfortable situation? But I'm gonna leave it at that. But yeah, chime in, you guys. Tell us your viewpoint of your parents being okay or friends or staying in contact with your ex while you're dating and being with someone new.
Check your mama.
Check your mama.
Check your mama. Yo, check your mama.
Well, thank you, Marcus, for doing this. I know this was probably taxing for you. Thank you, Dennis.
You didn't get Dennis' input. You just cut him off.
Oh, I didn't say anything because I agreed. I agreed with Marcus.
Check your mama.
Quote, check your mama.
Hashtag check your mama. Well, thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please tune in next week. And love y'all, mean it. Bye.
GT well.